deficit here. And look at Higuita going across the gap right now. Impressive ride by the Colombian rider.
The Ecuadorian and the Colombian now have just dropped Louis Meintjes 15 kilometers of racing left. About 6 Ks of that uphill to the KOM point. Let's see if Meintjes doesn't claw his way back, especially if Higuita can't pull through. I mean, he just bridged up, Christian. Give him a break to catch his breath.
Yeah, and he's coming through right there. He knows exactly what's on the line, and he also knows that he's a little bit faster than Carapaz. Okay, at the end of a hard stage like today with almost 13,000 feet of climbing, all bets are off for who has to know exactly what's going on behind him. But with only 16 seconds of that momentum, with Almeida pushing so hard with the red jersey group, I don't know if they're going to have the legs to stay off the front.
1 mile of climbing left for Richard Carapaz, and potentially 10 more points to the better for the King of the Mountains competition. He does not need any points.
Oh.
There goes Miguel Angel Lopez, another attack. Ayuso straight onto the wheel.
Straight onto the wheel. Head on a swivel at all times. 19-year-old knows exactly what's going on. Now it looks like Enrique Mas giving chase.
Evenepoel, no trouble whatsoever. He's got his eyes glued on number 1, 2, 4. Enrique Mas is going to try to follow him as long as he has to, which should be all the way to the finish line. Ben O'Connor in a little bit of trouble trying to get back on terms. Miguel Angel Lopez continues to be the aggressor in this group, Christian, but Juan Ayuso so far up to the task without too much trouble.
I don't know if that helps or hinders the chase now. Now you're going to see that there he goes back to the front. Almeida dead set on bringing these two riders back for his teammate Ayuso, thinking that he's most likely the fastest rider coming to the line, going for the stage victory.
It looks a little bit more than 7 seconds, more like 10 seconds to Almeida. There goes Carapaz. Last King of the Mountain point. The King of the Mountain looking for maximum points of 10. And then it's a long ways to the finish when you consider how much they've been racing this month, and today has been attacks throughout. Carapaz looked to be in danger of losing this lead to the teammate of Jay Vine, Robert Stannard, earlier in the stage, but he's fought back in the last half and has taken maximum points. Going to do that again on the final climb of La Vuelta.
How impressed are you, though, of Carapaz, though, Bob? I mean, this is just incredible how he can just keep on fighting. Where does he find the energy to attack time after time after time? And he's been off the front for the entirety of this day, going off the front of Navacerrada, and now being able to attack Higuita in the closing couple hundred meters of this climb. And I'll remind everyone, it is flat. Now, there is no descent up and over the top of this climb. 4 miles left to race. It's a gradual last kilometer, but for the most part, dead flat.
The Olympic champion has conquered the mountains of the Vuelta in the road race. Richard Carapaz, 10 more points. Unlikely to hold off the pursuers for the stage win, but giving it the best shot. Watch for Carapaz to go all in now and try to win the stage against all odds. The pursuers only 10 seconds behind.
He's got no choice now. He's committed off the front by himself. Oh, that was close with Aaronsman, almost hitting a spectator there, or a cop right there on the left-hand side. There goes Lopez, another big attack followed by Ayuso.
Ayuso on the wheel of Miguel Angel Lopez. Evenepoel straight across with Enrique Mas on his wheel. Joel Almeida also there. Higuita about to get caught. And if Higuita can have some assistance from perhaps Jai Hindley, he might have a chance to win the stage still. Could be the quickest of that group, but they got to catch Richard Carapaz. Now he's flying 21 seconds ahead of the Evenepoel group. There's Richard Carapaz into the last 3.5 miles of racing, giving himself a great chance for the stage win. 13 seconds now, so that gap is stabilized between Aaronsman and Carapaz. For Carapaz, the ideal scenario is Aaronsman does not catch him, and he doesn't have to worry about the sprint. Aaronsman is trying to make a race of it, but now just over a kilometer for Richard Carapaz.
I can almost see him going around these bends right now. That will help his motivation for sure. He gets a little bit of a glimpse of Carapaz suffering in front of him, knowing that he's not the only one. Just has to give everything now. Do not look behind you. Just focus your effort on Richard Carapaz.
It's been pretty flat and gradually downhill until this point, Christian, the last kilometer. That could be the difference for Aaronsman. catching Carapaz. Now a false flat, just a couple of percentages, but maybe enough of a climb to catch Carapaz for Ironsman.
I mean, at these kind of speeds, it's still a big distance. Now you can see him going around that bend right now. You can see the speeds right there, 43K an hour versus 47. So still going right around 27, 28 miles an hour. It is gradually uphill. Might be towards advantage for Ironsman, but it looks like Carapaz should have this.
Trying to win a mountain stage in the King of the Mountains jersey, the Olympic champion. 12 seconds ahead in the last few hundred meters. What a spectacular win, number 3 for Richard Carapaz. Going to come across the line with a pretty handed advantage. All day in the breakaway, translating into a brilliant climb on the last mountain of the Vuelta a España. Carapaz, a deserving winner after a hard-fought stage and Vuelta for the Ecuadorian superstar. 3 stage wins in this year's Vuelta. And in the King of the Mountains jersey. Last couple of 100 meters for Richard Carapaz. Ironsman will come into the frame, but Carapaz should have the legs to hold off the pursuers all the way to the finish line. Number 3 for Richard Carapaz. Ironsman, the second rider. Best of the rest, and the sprint for 3rd. Juan Ayuso against Miguel Angel Lopez. Jai Hindley trying to get there. Enrique Mas. It looks like Juan Ayuso is going to be the quickest of the pursuers. 3rd on the stage. Evenepoel delivers the red jersey to an adoring nation of Belgium. Great ride by gifted as Remco is in earlier in their career, then the comparisons and the pressure start to build, and that is the catharsis. Stage results, Carapaz holding off Ironsman by 8 seconds. Ayuso the sprint for 3rd in front of Hindley, Mas, Remco Evenepoel, Louis Meintjes, Lopez, Almeida, and Higuita a little bit further behind. Stage winner Richard Carapaz, no denying the desire and the fight and the ability of Carapaz to read the race right and holding off the pursuit of the GC contenders. But Remco Evenepoel understandably overcome by emotion when you consider the pressure he's faced since he was a teenager, and double world champion in the juniors, time trial and road race. And so for any Belgian rider, the comparisons begin at that moment with the great Eddy Merckx. And we have to go back to 1978 since we've seen a GC winner in a Grand Tour from Belgium, Johan de Meek in the Giro. And Eddy's career going back to the Tour de France, 1974, the last time a Belgians won the Tour. Well, if we fast forward a little bit, Christian, to the Tour de France, we've got another rider to talk about, along with Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard. Oh man, it's going to be awesome.
I can't wait to see the Tour de France and what's going to hold next year. But back to what you're saying with Remco and the motion that he's showing, I agree with you. I think it's mostly the relief. You put so much pressure on and it's finally done. I don't have to wake up tomorrow morning. I don't have to fight. No one's going to be attacking me tomorrow going into Madrid. It's going to be a sprint stage. It's all over. It's done. I won this race. The realization that's actually come to fruition. You see him shaking his head, just can't really believe that it's truly over. And thank goodness for that. And how many days? I mean, over 2 weeks defending that red jersey, both himself and the team. It's going to be a big change. I mean, he has one of the most lucrative contracts in the sport of cycling at 22 years of age. And he showed Patrick Lefevere that was definitely worth it. Not just today, but this entire month. And now to bring this back home, he's going to have to move. He's not going to be able to live in Belgium, man. He's not going to be able to leave his front doorstep.
3rd stage win for Richard Carapaz. Came in with some GC aspirations. Missed out on that in the first week. Shift his focus to the King of the Mountains and winning stages, and matches Mads Pedersen for the most in the Vuelta with 3. You don't oftentimes see a climber able to do that in any Grand Tour, but Carapaz delivering big time.
You have to turn the clocks way far back into the 90s when you see Jimenez winning 4 stages in 1998 in the Vuelta. But Carapaz, oh my goodness. I mean, considering how bad it was going for this guy in the first week of racing, and then getting that first victory and realizing that, oh, maybe I do have the legs, and getting that little bit of relief and confidence going back in. And like I said earlier, whenever this guy pins a number on his back, he's racing. He's a pure...
Campeón olímpico. Miren cómo explota todo. Es el mejor escalador de la Vuelta. Gracias a nuestro equipo de Linares, con la presencia de Jesús Vuelta, el presidente de la Sociedad Estatal de Loterías y Apuestas del Estado. ¡Felicidades, campeón! El premio de la montaña con Benepur, con Arrimas, con Juan Ayuso. Es en las 3 primeras plazas de la Vuelta del 2022.
Se lo merecen los 3.
Eso es excepcional.
Realmente se lo merecen los 3. Grande corredor.
Del Ayuntamiento de Barcelona, con el José Manuel Franco, con José Manuel Franco, presidente del Consejo Superior de Deportes, con Jaume Collboni, vicealcalde del Ayuntamiento de Barcelona. Además también en este final de la prueba, aquí contaremos con más Pedersen. Además también, como podemos apreciar, que dice maillot blanco, el maillot de plenitud que va a sostener, como vemos en las manos,
otra vez
como
la
mejor
locomotora
cambio de la clasificación final. Carapaz y ese maillot blanco, también plenitud del podio también para la historia. El aplauso de todos nosotros. ¡Qué foto tan bonita!
Miren dónde está la locomotora, carajo.
El contraste de colores del mejor equipo también de la Vuelta del 2022. Nuestra más sincera enhorabuena.
Estuviste en mi país, ¡qué emoción! ¡Oh! ¡Qué emoción!